Hello, hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. And today we are going. Before we started, let's take a break. Let's breathe. Let's breathe for a second. Let's breathe for a second. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's relax for a second. And if you've been following this series, you already know we are not doing surface level good vibes over here. We're doing real life, real healing, real true. Today we're talking about something that messes a lot of people up because it really mess up a lot of people up. And it's the reason so many of us keep negotiating our peace even when we know better. And let's put it like that, this is guilt, that heavy feeling that show up that moment you set a boundary, that sinking feeling when you choose yourself, that voice that say, who do you think you are, that pressure that make you want to undo your boundary, apologize for your feelings, and go right back to being convenient. So if you're ever say no, then lay in bed replaying it like you committed a crime, this episode is for you because I need you to hear this early. Guilt does not always mean you did something wrong. Sometimes guilt is just a sign you did something different, okay? So let's get into this. So today episode we're going to call it remember we are in the series my peace is not negotiable. Repeat with me. My peace is not negotiable. My peace is not negotiable. And today we talking about why choosing peace make you feel guilty. And like I said, so far in this series we have talked about what peace is, and we talk about the cost of negotiating it. So now here's what happened when you start choosing peace. You set a boundary. You say no. You don't over explain. You stop responding immediately. You do not attend events. You do not rescue grown adults. You do not keep the conversation going when it turns disrespectful. And then guilt pulls up like, excuse me? Where do you think you're going? That's what we are unpacking today because if you don't understand your guilt, guilt will run your life. So let's make this okay, let's make something clear. There are two kind of guilt. Clean guilt, that's when you violate your values. That's when you are out of integrity. That's when you lie, harm someone, manipulate, disrespect. Clean guilt is useful because it points you back to who you really are. Then the second guilt is conditioning guilt. This is the one most people are dealing with when they choose peace. Conditional guilt is not about your values, it's about other people's expectation. Conditional guilt says if you do not say yes, you're selfish. If you don't show up, you don't care. If you don't set up boundaries, you're being difficult. Remember, conditional guilt says also if you stop giving access, you're mean. Conditional guilt is what happened when you have been trained, whatever by family, culture, religion, trauma, or survival, to believe that your worth comes from what you do for others. And when you are like me, that you were raised in a Latino household, we were raised that we help everybody. We were raised that we put everybody needs before ours. And when it comes like that, that's when you have a culture that you were raised like that. And when you start setting all these boundaries, it's going to like boom, like like people will be like, wow, he's difficult. Wow, she don't care. Wow, she's mean. Because you decided to Repeat with me. My peace is not negotiable. Make yourself your priority. And then when this start happening is when people will be like, okay. But I always says, when you are in a journey of personal growth, family members, people around you, when they know that you're doing this for your well-being and they support you, they will stick there. They will follow these boundaries. But the people that will not follow these boundaries, they're going to disrespectful, you need to cut them off. And automatic, I always says, trash get out from your life by themselves. They will not like it. They will stop talking to you. And if they start talking to you, don't start begging. It's the best thing that can happen. Remember, God will close doors that He heard something about it, that He sees something about it, that He knows something about it because we haven't seen it. He knows what He's doing. Okay? So remember, conditioning guilt is what happened when you have been trained, whatever, by family, culture, religion, trauma, or survival. Okay? So when you choose peace, your nervous system doesn't always interpret it as a healthy guilt. It interprets it as a danger because for someone of you, choosing yourself used to come with consequences, like I explained before. So let me say this gently but firmly. If choosing peace trigger guilt, is often because you were trained to abandon yourself. Okay? So now listen. I want you to think about this. If you have spent years, maybe your whole life, being the one who fix things, the one who keep the family together, the one that smooth things over, the one that stay quiet all your life or spend years being the one who stay available, stay quiet, doesn't ask for too much, being the one that doesn't make people uncomfortable. Then when you finally start choosing peace, it doesn't feel peaceful right away. It feels wrong. It feels selfish. It feels unfamiliar because your identity was built around being needed. And when you stop being needed, it can feel like you're losing your value. Let me say that again. If your identity is the one who always show up, then resting will be feel like failure. If your identity is the strong one, then needing support will be like weakness. If your identity is a peacemaker, then setting boundary will feel like betrayal. But it's not betrayal, it's growth. And growth is uncomfortable because it requires you to stop being who you had to be. Okay? So let's go deeper because guilt is often just fear in a custom. When you feel guilty for choosing peace, you're often afraid of being rejected. You're often afraid of being misunderstood. You're often afraid of being called selfish. You're often afraid of being abandoned. You're often afraid of being talked about. You're often afraid of losing the relationship, losing approval, not being good anymore. And this is where I want you to be real with you, okay? Some people only feel safe with you when you are small. Some people only feel comfortable when you are overgiving. Some people only feel powerful when you don't have boundaries. So, when you start choosing peace, guilt tries to pull you back into your own contract. That old contract that says, I will betray myself so you can stay comfortable. But we are not doing that in 2026. We coming new in 2026. We are not walking into 2026 still negotiating our peace. We are not. And I can, and let's put it like that. Can we talk about December for a second? Because right now we're at December, almost half of December. December will test you. Family gatherings, old friends, holiday obligation, people popping back up like nothing happened. Expectation, pressure, triggers. So your guilt might be extra loud right now. But listen, just because guilt is loud doesn't mean it's right. Sometimes guilt is just your old programming screaming because you are finally changing. Okay? I want I want to give you a practice that will change everything if you actually use it. Because the faster way to break guilt is to name it correctly. Okay? So most people say, I feel bad, but bad is bigger. You know what I'm saying? Bad is shame. Bad sends you to into punishment. So instead, when guilt show up, I want you to try this. Step one, replace I feel guilty with one of these. This feel unfamiliar. This is me breaking a pattern. This is my nervous system adjusting. This is the old version of me trying to survive. So, step one, when you start telling yourself, I feel guilty, replace it. Okay? Replace it with one of the things that I just say. Okay? Step two, ask the question. Did I violate my values or did I violate someone's expectation? That question right there will save you. Because if you didn't violate your values, you don't need shame. You need practice. Step three, use a boundary affirmation. Say it loud. My peace is not negotiable. Repeat with me. My peace is not negotiable. Again, my peace is not negotiable. Another one that you can say is, I can love people and still have limits. Repeat with me. I can love people and still have limits. Repeat again. I can love people and still have limits. Let's do two more. I don't have to explain my no. Remember, when you say no, say, I don't have to explain my no. Be firm. I don't have to explain my no. Another one, discomfort is not danger. Repeat with me, discomfort is not danger. One more time, my beautiful souls, discomfort is not danger. And if you need one sentence to repeat when guilt tries to bully you, use this one. And we're going to repeat it 3 times. I'm going to start the first one. I'm not doing something wrong, I'm doing something new. Let's go, my beautiful soul. I'm not doing something wrong. I'm doing something new. One more time. Repeat it with really you believe it. I'm not doing something wrong. I'm doing something new. I'm not doing something wrong. I'm doing something new. Okay? So let me give you a few real example so you can catch it in the moment. Example number one. You don't go to the event. They invite you to this event, you didn't win. Jill says you should show up. True say I'm choosing rest because you knew you needed to rest. Another one, you stop answering someone immediately. Jill says they will think you don't care. But you say my time is mine. And that's important, your time. Example number three, you set a boundary with a family member. And family member, let me tell you this, when you're in this process, they're the most difficult ones too. Set of boundaries, and when you change, they think that you're still going to be the old person, and then when you do something right, they just bring your past. Families are the most difficult one in this journey. But you stop answering, we talk about that. You stop answering someone immediately. You set a boundary with a family member. You are being disrespectful because it can be your mom, it can be your dad. Like yesterday, episode 2, I did this example about my mom. Every time that I call her to check on her, she start talking about toxic drama and all that stuff. So I when she started talking about that, I cut it off. Okay, mom, I love you. I talk to you later because that's my peace. My peace is not negotiable, and that's the point that I want you guys to understand. Okay, setting boundaries. Um, um, with a family member, remember, your guilt is going to say you are being disrespectful, but the truth say I'm protecting my mental health, and that's the important part. And example number 4, in the last one, you stop over explaining. Okay, guilt says you owe them an explanation, but truth say no. It's a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Remember that. No is a complete sentence. You say no, no is no. So today, here's what you I want you to remember. Guilt doesn't always mean you did something wrong. Sometimes guilt is just at the window symptom of people pleasing. If you've been training to abandon yourself, choosing peace will feel comfortable at first, okay? But discomfort is not danger, it's growth. In the next episode, we're moving into phase 2, permission. And we're talking about this. Peace is a boundary, not an attitude. Peace is a boundary, not an attitude. Repeat with me again, with my beautiful soul. Peace is a boundary, not an attitude. And that's what we're going to talk in phase two. Because peace is not just a feeling you hope show up. It's a standard you enforce. Okay? So here's just assignment for today. Keep it simple. The next time guilt show up, say, this is unfamiliar, not wrong. Repeat with me. Is the guilt show up during the day today? We're going to say, this is unfamiliar, not wrong. And then when you say that, you go in my beautiful soul, ask yourself, did I violate my values or their expectations? And if this episode helped you out, share it with someone who needs permission to stop apologizing for choosing themselves. I love you guys. I'm proud of you for doing this work with me. And I will talk to you in the next episode. And remember, repeat with me, my peace is not negotiable. One more time, my peace is not negotiable. Last time, my beautiful soul, my peace is not negotiable. So, see you tomorrow, the next episode. Like always, my beautiful soul. Love you guys. Be blessed. Have a wonderful and beautiful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.